Boxing Board of Control's testing agency have also tested multiple times in the build-up to this fight. They've all been negative. There was an adverse finding in a BARDA test that both teams were made aware of. The levels, the blood tests, everything were analysed by both.
Know the details, because if the Boxing Board feel it's safe to go ahead and feeling not an issue, then I'll go with the Boxing Board's decision. The Boxing Board are no fools, and therefore they don't want to set precedent. So I'm quite sure if the Boxing Board are letting the fight go ahead, then I trust the Boxing Board when it comes to that kind of thing, because remember, if anything bad happened, they would be liable as well.
Ban the fucker. Ban him. Because it's a dangerous sport. Whatever they do, whatever they don't, but I'm having no opinion on it at all. You know, a man's innocent till proven guilty, and I've been in that position myself where you're guilty when you've been pronounced guilty before the trial. I've been there, know it feels. So until the B sample comes up.
Failed 2 tests, not 1 but 2, and irrespective of whether there's minuscule amount or very small amount in his body, what was it doing in there? And more importantly, you know, is that because over a period of time that it diminished? I don't know, you know, no one knows the answer, but it was in there. He's had the A samples, and obviously they're not been contaminated. And if that is the case, then he's obviously got to explain how twice, on 2 occasions, that he's had that PED in.
For now, what can you say? If it comes out the B sample he's been using, ban him. There's no more to be said, is there?
Is there a perfect reason why it's a tiny molecule that tiny traces? That's what I don't know. We only know
if it's somehow in his system from other means. I know that might sound crazy, but I guess we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, do we? I'd like to think we do. But yeah, this is wild.
But do you know what is the absolute liberty about all of this? Is the way that he, after he failed that test on Monday, texts me, texts you, to say, I swear I've not taken anything. This is sabotage. This is just a system against me. Fuck off.
Contamination, that is a possibility at this particular stage, but once that B sample is opened, I mean, I can't think of too many that have come back that are contrary to the A sample.
You know, they should, everybody who gets caught taking drugs should get a fucking 10-year ban, man. Fuck everybody. I don't understand why we have to fucking...
What about Daniel Dubois and that?
Daniel was fucking amazing. He was getting hit, but he was not quitting. He didn't have the quit in his eyes this day. You see, we wanted to win the fight. And he just fucking body gumption, carried on, mushed Fabio down, mushed him, and then at the end, he got his man.
Do you think he gets a 3rd fight with Usyk?
No, I don't want to see him in 3rd fight with Usyk. I want him to defend the title, make some money, defend it, and then fight Usyk.
What about Itama?
No, I don't want to see him with no Itama.
Who do you think wins between Dubois and Itama?
Right now, the odds, the favourites, Daniel is the world champion, so I think Daniel, yeah. But we know our time.
Daniel Dubois just failed a drug test, and this changes everything about his fight with Fabio Wardley. The boxing world is absolutely losing it right now, and honestly, I'm not even surprised.
Incredibly shocking. When any fighter fails a performance-enhancing drug test, it's, you know, it is incredible.
Here's what nobody's talking about. This wasn't just any fight. This was a brutal war that went 10 rounds with Wardley taking massive damage. And now we find out Dubois might have been enhanced. That's not just cheating. That's dangerous.
And the fight was supposed to stop in round 10 because his nose was bleeding so badly.
What's next for them? Are they having a rematch clause? If not, who do you want to see him fight?
Nobody wants to see the rematch.
Yeah, it was just incredible. I couldn't believe what I was watching at times there. I mean, listen, it was all going wrong at the start, wasn't it? When Fabio put him down a couple of times, but Daniel showed the heart of a lion in there. Got it together, got behind his jab, and really started busting Fabio up. And by the way, Fabio Wardley is one hard bastard. My God, what a hard man. So is Daniel Dubois. 2 very, very tough, strong men going at it for the world heavyweight.
John Fury is calling for punishment if it's true, but he's also saying Dubois is innocent until the B sample confirms it. Look, that's fair legally, but the damage to his reputation, that's already done. The fans have already made up their minds.
was a mess. The nose had gone, the eye had gone. The doctor had 2 good, long, hard looks at him, let him continue. Do you think there's a case to be made that fight should have been stopped earlier, or is it because of what we've seen Fabio do in the past? You have to give him every chance.
Over, Dubois got back up. Dubois was nervous as anything. I felt bad for him in the first round. He was really jittery. Fabio probably really, looking back, I should have just jumped all over him, because Dubois, as great as Dubois is, and he's a fantastic fighter. On top, he's probably the best heavyweight in the world on top. You know, Usyk befuddled him, and you know he can get beat, Dubois, because he's a real enigma, to be honest. I'm a big fan of him, but he's there. He's just.
Dave Coldwell thinks it could be contamination, maybe trace amounts from supplements or something innocent. But here's the kicker. Even he admits the only confirmed fact is that Dubois failed the test. Everything else is just speculation and damage control.
How many jabs did Fabio chuck? Last jab, he didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything we've seen before. You know, and today, Sam Smith was right. He goes, you're only a world champion until you fight a real fighter.
What should Fabio have done then? Throw the jab, what else could he have done?
Listen, he was supposed to work his jab, but he was not working his jab. And then that's what happened.
Eddie Hearn is going nuclear on this. Dubois is claiming sabotage, and Hearn's completely rejecting that idea. You can hear the anger in his voice. When your own promoter sounds this frustrated, you know the situation is cooked.
The reason God gave you fear is so you can survive.
Daniel Dubois, world champion once again. Dom, you called this yesterday. I was surprised you called it, because a lot of people pick Fabio, but I don't know even what way to start. What a fight.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit. His corner didn't pull him out.
And get this, some experts are saying trace amounts can stay in your system longer than people think. Different testing methods, different detection windows. But for Wardley fans, this just sounds like more excuses piling up.
Never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both could give everything they had. I could watch.
Derek Chisora wants a 10-year ban with no mercy. No excuses, no appeals, just straight punishment. That's the old school mentality right there. And honestly, a lot of boxing fans are feeling the same way after years of PED scandals.
Old demons when he got dropped. I think he started to think old demons when he started to think his things weren't working. But you know what was giving Daniel confidence? He kept landing a jab. Every time Wardley threw a right hand, Dubois would stick a jab and it would touch his target. That there was giving Dubois hope that, okay, then I can stand in front of my target and I can land with a jab. And he knew he was softening up Wardley with a jab.
But wait, it gets more complicated. The same people praising Dubois for his warrior heart are now questioning everything. Was that toughness real? Or was it chemically enhanced? The entire narrative of the fight is being rewritten. Adam Catterall says this is shocking and damages boxing's credibility. And he's right. Every time this happens, fans lose a little more trust. Wardley's victory is now clouded in controversy he didn't ask for. Here's what's really wild. Some thought the fight should have been stopped in round 10 due to the damage Wardley was taking. Now knowing Dubois might have been enhanced, that makes it even more dangerous. We could have been watching an unfair beatdown. The boxing world is divided. Some want to wait for the B sample, others want immediate punishment. But Wardley, his moment of glory is being overshadowed by his opponent's failed test. That's the real tragedy here. So here's my question. Should Wardley get a rematch if this is confirmed? And do you think Dubois knew what he was taking? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because boxing drama like this is exactly why this sport never gets boring. The timing of this whole situation is absolutely insane though. We're talking about a fighter who just had one of the most brutal performances of his career, and now everything gets called into question. But here's what's eating at me. The Boxing Commission knew about this test for weeks. Why are we just hearing about it now? Think about it. Wardley went through hell in that ring. His face was a mess. He took punishment that would break most fighters, and he still found a way to win. Now he's got to deal with questions about whether his opponent was clean. That's not just unfair, it's cruel to a warrior who earned his victory the hard way. And let's talk about the elephant in the room nobody wants to address. This isn't Dubois' first controversy. Remember the Joe Joyce fight? The low blow situation? Now this, at some point, patterns start to matter. The benefit of the doubt gets harder to give when these situations keep happening around the same fighter. The promotional side of this is a nightmare too. Matchroom and Queensberry were probably already planning the next big moves for both fighters. Now everything's on hold. Contracts get complicated, opponents start backing out, and the whole division gets thrown into chaos. One failed test doesn't just affect one fighter, it ripples through everything. But here's the part that's really getting under my skin. Social media is already running wild with conspiracy theories. Some fans are saying this was planted evidence. Others are claiming the whole sport is corrupt. And you know what? I can't even blame them anymore. When stuff like this keeps happening, people lose faith in the entire system.